Okay, I'm going to keep this really short. If you haven't watched this video yet, go back and start there. It's a kind of an intro to what we're going to do in the next little while. This is the video here that you should have clicked on. And what I want you to do after you've watched this video, this first one here, and you're watching this one now, that's great, is click on here. This is the worksheet for today, and I want to work through this really quickly with you. You can read the top. This is a lot like we talked about in the intro video. Probability equals a fraction. So this is the top number, the number of ways that event occur. This is the bottom number, the total number of possible outcomes. So if you think about flipping a coin again, there's two outcomes. So that goes in the bottom. That would be 2. There's one way to get heads. There's one way to get tails. So that would be 1. So 1 out of 2 or 50%. This one says a box contains 4 yellow marbles and 5 blue marbles. So in total, there's 9 marbles. That means the bottom number has to be 9. And the probability of getting yellow, well, there's 4 yellows in here out of a total of 9. So the probability is 4 out of 9. Now, if I want to make that a percent, I would just go 4 divided by 9 equals, and it would give me decimal 4, and then times that by 100, or just 4 divided by 9 times 100, and that gives me 44%. So the probability of yellow is 44%. And then there's some questions here for you to do. What is the total number of possible outcomes, or total number of possible ways a die, that's one single dice, can turn up? So that would be 6, right? So the denominator, if I was making a probability, that would be 6. List all the possible outcomes of rolling a die. That's also 6, right? Oh, actually, no. Number 1 is different. List all the total number of ways the die can turn up. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 different ways, but it said to list them. So 1 is 1, 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6. So this one is 6. How many outcomes does an odd number appear? Well, what are odd numbers? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So from 1 to 6, you have 3 odd numbers, 1, 3, and 5, right? How many times will the number 9 appear in 12 rolls of a single die? Okay, well, think about that for a minute. The only options I have are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many times will 9 appear? It won't. It's a kind of a trick question. It's 0. What is the possibility of rolling a number less than 8? Well, all those numbers are less than 8, so I would say 100%. Okay, so pretty easy page to fill out. B, each of the 9 letters in the word crossword, so crossword is made of 9 letters, are written on separate cards, right? And then the cards are shuffled, and then a card is chosen at random. So what is the probability of an S being chosen? Okay, well, if you look at the word, there's 9 letters. So the denominator has to be 9, the bottom, and there's 2 S's. So there's 2 chances to get an S. So the chance of an S, the probability of an S, is 2 chances out of 9. So if I divided 2 by 9 and then times it by 100, I get 22%. So what's the probability of the letter O? Well, look up here. I have 2 O's, so it's 2 out of 9, or 22%. What's the probability of a W? Well, there's 1 W, so 1 divided by 9 times 100 is 11%. A letter in the word sword, okay? Well, so I have S, W, O, R, and D. So if I look here, I have 2 S's, I have 1 W, I have 2 O's, and I have 1 D. So if I add all of those together, right, because the probability of S is 2 out of 9, probability of W is 1 out of 9, so that's 3. The probability of an O is 2 more out of 9, so that's 5. R, that's 6. D, that's 7. So the chances of getting one of these letters is 7 out of 9. It's highly probable because all those letters appear in that word. Okay, so the next 3 I'm going to let you work through on your own. This one's a little bit trickier, but remember this. There are 6 marbles in a bag, so the denominator has to be 6. Okay, so you figured out these 3 different probabilities. And when it says to express them as a fraction, you express them as a fraction. If it says percent, express as a percent. If it doesn't say anything, I would do both. I would just start with decimal and then make that into, or start with a percent and then make that into a fraction. Oh, pardon me. Start with a fraction. There we go. Got it right. Start with a fraction and then make that into a percent. Okay, that's it. Take care.